was Googling on the clock. I knew I wasn't supposed to be, but I came across the scripture of Habakkuk 2. And starting at verse 2, it says, "Write the revelation down and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." So from that point on, I've been kind of in the waiting period. And waiting, a synonym of waiting means being patient. And I'm bad about being patient. And so just kind of going through the process of, what I wanted to do with my life, because my mom was always like, "Lauren, you have to have a plan. Like, you wake up, you have to have a plan. Plan. And I was just kind of like, I don't know what my plan is. I just want to wake up and we'll figure it out. But I've learned in having a plan, you have to be able to adjust. And so in 2015, I had to make that adjustment. And at that point, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do real estate. I knew I wanted to do development, but I didn't know necessarily how to get there. So I prayed, I sowed, Lord, I know this is for me, and it was still a waiting period. I heard absolutely nothing. I was like, okay, all right, maybe I didn't hear properly. So I started doing other things, and the thing about not being patient is you start grabbing at things that's not connected to your purpose, and because you want to be relevant for some reason, you want your name out there. And so I started doing crazy things and spending a whole lot of money just to be relevant, but still I was still waiting. And I was getting frustrated. Periodically I find my prayers that I've written down of Lord, I'm frustrated, just pouring out my heart to Him. And so finally, when I went to Rhode Island, that was the best time of my life. And my family was like, "Rhode Island, where did you find that?" And I was like, "I don't know, I just came across it, but I'm going back." And I missed them, they missed me, and I was diagnosed with lupus, and so I came back home, and so I could get back on my feet, but still I was in my waiting period. And I remember one day my grandmother and I, we were in the hospital in Rhode Island, and she and I, we were just having a conversation. I was like, "Grandma, why do you think this happened?" And because, there have been other young people that graduated with me that one young lady died from lupus, heart issue, things like that. And at that point, it was one of those "Lord, why did you keep me?" And that's kind of where I became content with waiting. And now everything that has built up to this point has been well worth my wait. So I just want to encourage you ladies, wherever you are in your professional, personal, whatever's on the other side is well worth the wait. Because even when I was in Rhode Island, it started with the flu. And I had never had the flu, and I was like, this is crazy. I've never had the flu. I come, 13 hours away from home, and all of a sudden I get sick. And then from there, it developed to I couldn't walk on my left side. And so going into the ER and 104-degree fever, all that kind of stuff, and test after test after test, it was one of those things where it's Lord, all this is happening for a reason. Because prior to that, I had just gone through a breakup, and I will never forget this. I was like, "Lord, if this is the only thing that you make me have to go through in life, I think I'll be okay. This is my testimony, how I overcame a breakup." Nope. No. He had something better in store, a little bit more dramatic than that. But nonetheless, he kept me, and I've been so grateful for the people that I've met along the way in my journey. And so once I came back from Rhode Island, I just put my head down, and literally it's been faith without works is dead. And as I've been putting my faith to work, it's just been, breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. So I am ever so grateful that the Lord has kept me to see this day. and that I'm, from the rain, I can see the sunshine. And, I just want to encourage you ladies that whatever you're going through, you may look glossy on the outside, but hurting on the inside. And eventually what is going on the inside happens on the outside. But know that God is with you and that He will propel you forward, and you have yet to see what He can do for you. So, thank you.
All right.